Welcome to episode 1 of How to Stay Consistent. My name is CJ Ortiz of cjortiz.com and metalmotivation.com. This episode of this video is from my Life Domination online coaching program, which you can learn more about at the link below. But all this week, we're talking about how to stay consistent. Consistency is a key to success, and keeping yourself consistent in whatever discipline you're committed to will determine how much you maximize your potential. The problem is staying consistent, but the secret is not as difficult as you might think. One of the things that we do is that when we look at how others achieve things, when we see the kind of lives that others live, maybe they're living the life that you want, maybe they've achieved the goals that you want. Because we struggle so much with doing those things ourselves, we begin to think that somehow these people have a special lease on life, that somehow they were given something that you weren't. They had opportunities that you don't have. They have a background or an ethnicity or a region of the world that they live in that's far better than yours. Granted, there can be advantages in any one of those areas of life. But ultimately, what determines our success is what we do. It is what we believe. But the less we understand about how things are achieved, we will always ascribe magic or fate or destiny or whatever to the reason why someone else achieves what it is that we want. And this leads to something very dreadful, and that is envy. Envy is a very powerful and destructive emotion. Envy is far greater than jealousy. The old description that I've always heard about it is, we know what jealousy is like, but envy is when you try to damage someone else or wish harm on someone else because of what they have. In other words, they haven't done anything to you. Anybody who's achieved a goal did not achieve that goal in order to hurt your feelings. They didn't achieve what they did in life in order to make you feel worse about your particular lot in life. They didn't do it for that reason at all. But when we get into a culture or a mindset of envy, we begin to place blame on things external to ourselves and not ourselves. And sometimes when circumstances are the way that they might be negative. More often than not, we are the circumstance that needs to be changed first. If you are dealing with some trying circumstances right now, if you're dealing with a difficult season in your life, then it's not so much the circumstances that needs to change. Sometimes it's you and me that needs to change first. But in order to achieve anything, it comes down to the application of principles over time. There's always a method to doing something, whether it's a physical goal, a financial goal, a job change, or a relationship goal. No matter what it is, there are principles that govern achievement in any area of life. The issue is, have you applied those things consistently? Has discouragement, has a lack of results taken you out of the fight? Have you stopped doing what you know to do is right simply because you've allowed yourself to become discouraged? Well, the key here is not, as I said at the outset, so much of a secret. It's about staying consistent. But where does inconsistency happen? Inconsistency happens in a given day, right? The moment you started to become inconsistent, it all began in a single given day. And that day began in a single given moment. Therefore, all we've got to get you to do is learn to see life in those terms, because we tend to focus only on the larger goal, and it becomes so large in our minds that it's easy for us to get discouraged. So that when we do become inconsistent, and then we compare our inconsistency with the largeness of the goal that we're trying to reach, we become discouraged. It seems so out of reach, so out of touch, so difficult, and so long to get to. You become discouraged, and discouragement will lead to hopelessness. And that's what you begin to quit. You become an enemy to your own self, and you begin to blame others. And you become embittered. You become cynical. And these are all poisons of your own spirit. So all we've got to do is minimize those. Don't allow those things to become too big in our minds. Don't allow the drama to become bigger than the actual reality that you're facing. No, all you were was inconsistent. That's it. In a given day, in a given moment, you didn't do what you did moments before. You didn't do what you did the day before. During that moment, you decided not to do what you knew needed to be done. Therefore, let's not make it any more than it is. That's all that it is. You don't have to take blame for it. You don't have to feel bad for it. You don't have to condemn yourself for it. You don't have to knock yourself out of the fight of life because of it. You don't have to declare yourself to be a loser because of it. No, you're not a loser because of it. It doesn't mean you're born to lose. It doesn't mean any of those things. All it means is that in that moment you were inconsistent. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but there's nothing that you need to take personally and become an enemy to yourself over. So all we have to do is to keep you consistent in those moments when you need it most. And then you realize, wow, it really wasn't that difficult. All I had to do was get right back on the horse and keep riding. Why did I make such a big deal about it? Why did I turn it into something so emotional? Why did I become an enemy to myself? Why did I start speaking slanderous things about myself, calling myself a loser, calling myself pathetic? Why would I do that? All I needed to do was get right back on the horse and keep doing what I was doing before as if nothing happened. That's all. Inspiration, daily motivation, staying in the fight of life, where you're keeping up your daily disciplines, that's where everything is decided. That's all you have to overcome. Nothing is too difficult for you to achieve. You have more than enough personal power to do it. All we got to do is keep you consistent. Can you dig that? Well, that's what we're talking about all this week, and how to be more consistent in your life. Again, I show every first episode of every weekly series in my Life Domination online coaching program for free. I give it away for free. I show it to everybody else. Now, if you'd like to be a part of the online coaching program, then just visit the link below, mentalmotivation.com/life domination coaching, and you can see the rest of this series. Participate in this awesome group. You can do it for less than $20 a month. Can you dig that? I hope you can. This is CJ with Mental Motivation. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.